You're welcome, my dear fashionista. Today we are making this gathered dress. It is so simple. It has a collar and it is quick to be done. So stick around, subscribe if this is your first time meeting Yvonne Winifred UG, and I'm just going to show you how it is made. So simple. Let's just get into the video and I show you. So this is the fabric that I'll be using. As you've already seen, I've already folded it into two and I'm cutting the top piece first. I have the front and the back folded together so that I cut everything once. So the back piece has a zipper allowance. As you've seen, it is a little bit larger than the front one. So guys, from the top, from my shoulder line, I have the top piece is about 16 inches and I added 1 inch to make it 17 inches as the joining allowance to the skirt piece. So that is going to be my shoulder line, and at this shoulder line I marked 7.5 inches, which is the half of the shoulder measurement, and I added half an inch for the joining allowances and the seam allowances. But guys, it is a sleeveless dress. You can even move in by 1 inch if you want, and you can even leave it at that if you want. So from that shoulder line again, I went down by 8.5 inches to mark my shoulder, my armhole measurement. That is the half of my armhole measurement. So again, I got the midpoint of that line to carve out my armhole. So this is me marking the armhole. This is the front armhole. I get that midpoint, move in by half an inch and then mark out, and again from that midpoint I just carve out the back armhole as you've seen. So remember, we have to slant the shoulder by 1 inch. So that is what I've done, and now I can mark out the neckline. So since this dress has a collar and that is a little bit very up, I'm using 3 by 3 inches as the neckline markings, but you can even mark 2.5 inches as the neck depth. So neck width is 3 inches and the neck depth is 3 inches in this case, but you can even work with 2.5 inches, especially for a petite person or even a medium person. 2.5 is okay. So for the back, width is also 3 inches and the depth is just the normal 1 inch that we usually use. So after that, I just slant out my shoulder line, and after there I just add half an inch to that shoulder line as the joining allowance between the back and the front shoulders. So that's what I am doing now. So that's it guys. So now moving on, I have to mark where that my dart will be, and I get that by dividing the nipple to nipple measurement by 2 and add just half an inch as the sewing joining allowance again. So from there I just mark my waist measurement down and also the bust measurement down. So I just divide the entire measurement, that is the waist or the bust measurement, by 4 inches plus 1 inch for that, and then about 1.5 inches or 2 inches for the joining, for the seam allowances guys. So it is what you see me doing there. After there I connect the 2 points, and that is it, or about the markings of the top piece of this dress. So from there I just cut out my desired shape. And remember, we cut out the back markings first. As you've seen the armhole, I've cut out the back markings first and even at the neckline, and now I can cut out the front pieces afterwards, as you see here. So it is not all that difficult, it is quick and easy, even to the beginners. So this back piece will be separated into two. Remember, we'll have to add a zipper. So guys, I also went ahead and duplicated my main pieces and got some linings, as you see. Just traced out the main pieces to get these black pieces as the lining. So this is how I am going to sew. Let me show you. So I will leave the neckline and the shoulders out. I won't sew there, but I will sew along the armhole and the sides first for the front and the back piece. So as you've seen, I will place right sides facing each other and take in my darts. So I'll do that separate for the main piece and separate for the lining. Take in the darts and then I will show you what next. So guys, this is the piece that I have for the gathers or for the skirt. So this one is for the front. I'll just run a loose stitch at my sewing machine, the loosest stitch, and then gather it up. That is it. So for this gathered piece, you just multiply your entire waist measurement by 3 inches. So, and after that I divided it by 2. One is for the front and the other one is for the back. And for the back again, I divided it into 2 since we'll be attaching a zipper. So I also ran a loosest stitch along that waist line and then gather it up. Then I'll have my back skirt pieces like that. So guys, after all the sewings that I've talked about, this is what I have. The darts are taken in, as I told you. The sides and the armhole are placed very well or sewed very well, and the darts are there taken in so neatly. And then this upper piece or upper part, I told you I'm going to leave it out for now till later. And this is how the back also looks like. The sides are sewn and along the armhole, and then the middle piece where the zipper will be, for the now I haven't sewn it, but it is like that. The darts are taken in. Remember, the front dart is 1 inch below the bust line and the back dart is 1 inch above the bust line. So you have to consider that in length when you are sewing. So I've also gathered my skirt pieces, as you see. That is for the front and these 2 are for the back, as I said earlier. That is how they look like. So now guys, I have to cut my collar. So let me show you how to cut this collar. So this is the collar. I've already cut it out. So the way I cut it is after, I just measured all these necklines, both for the back and the front, after joining my shoulders there by 1/2 inch. You just measure what you have, and whatever you have is going to be the length of this collar. And for now it is folded into 2, as you see, and it is, when folded it is 2 inches, but unfolded it is 4 inches, joining or seam allowances inclusive. So after joining, I will have about 1.5 inches remaining. Remember, there is 1/2 inch there for the joining allowance onto the main dress. So guys, this is what I have now. So far, I'm just going to take my pieces to the sewing machine, join the shoulders as you see now, The shoulders are joined on both sides, as you see, so neatly joined for the lining and the main piece. And so now I just have to join my my collar onto that neckline, and before joining I've just added some interfacing because the fabric that I'm using is a little bit so light. I just added some interfacing to make my collar a little bit firmer and stiffer, and now I just have to attach it along the neckline to have something like this. So this is after attaching the collar onto the dress, and this is how it has come up. Like I just sandwiched the dress in between that collar and I just top stitched, and this is what I have. So guys, after the collar, now I just joined my skirt onto the top piece. This is me joining the gathers, and I will show you what I have next. Remember, we are joining by 1/2 inch the skirt piece onto the top piece, and this is what I have. So beautiful. I love what I see so far. I've also joined the sides, as you see. So now everything is almost done. I just have to get to the back, and guys, I think you see the collar is also neatly done. So now I just have to attach the zipper at the center back there, finish up the hemline, and also finish up the center back, and the dress will be done. Remember, we have 1 inch as the zipper allowance there. So I'll just have my zipper attached and I'll come up with such a beautiful dress. At this point, it is done. Everything is done. The zipper is attached at the back, as you see. The center back is all joined together, sides joined, the hem is joined, the collar is finished, as you see. Remember to press it down after attaching it onto the main dress. And that is it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. That is how I made that dress. Bye bye.